What's up, it's Gene, your coach, your motivator, your impact storyteller. This is inGENEious motivation, and I'm here to help you to believe that you're worthy to be great. But in order for you to develop a worthy mindset, you must persist despite disappointments. So this week I went to the University of North Texas basketball game, right? And they was playing against Oklahoma State. Now while I was at the game, one of my friends said to me, Gene, they have a halftime performance today. Her name is Red Dragon. She is like one of the best in the country. Now to be honest with you all, I don't care nothing about no halftime performance, but I was kind of curious. We get to halftime, and this lady rolls out on this unicycle that's about 15 feet tall. She's riding around in a red dress, she's clapping, she's smiling, and I noticed that a guy comes out of the tunnel and he starts to follow her around. This guy had people put these little white metal bowls on the basketball court, and now I was kind of curious because I was thinking to myself, what in the world are they gonna do with those white bowls? So the guy walks over there, he grabs about 4 of those bowls, he throws them up to the lady on the unicycle, she catches them, she's holding them on her arms, she's riding around smiling to everybody, and I'm thinking to myself, that is not impressive to me. What is so impressive about somebody riding on a unicycle with bowls on their arms? Then all of a sudden, the lady started pedaling the unicycle with her left foot, right? She was pedaling and she put her other foot out in front of her. Now I become very curious because I'm thinking to myself, okay, she's pedaling with one foot, she has these bowls on her arm, and then she puts the bowls in one hand and she reaches down and put them on her right foot. So now she is pedaling with her left, she has her right foot out in front of her, and as the music is playing, I can see she's concentrating. And all of a sudden she kicks up and the bowls flip on top of her head, stacked up on the middle of her head. Now I'm thinking to myself, wow, how in the world did she do that? I am massively impressed. And she continues to pedal the unicycle. She has her arms out, the bows are on her head, and everybody is going crazy in the audience. But then she took it to another level. She had about 16 more bowls left. So she started pedaling to another side of the court. He gives her 4 more bowls. She does the same thing. She flips those bowls on the top of her head, and now she has 8 bowls balanced on her head as she's riding around the basketball court. Now I'm amazed at this lady because I think to myself, I have no idea how long she practiced that. I don't even know how you even develop a skill like that. But then things start to make a turn. You see, she goes over to 4 more bowls, right? She has 8 on her head. The guy gives her 4 more, and she starts riding the unicycle, and everybody's like looking at her, real glued on her. She flips up those bowls, and one of them falls to the floor. Now, even though the audience was still clapping that she got 3 of them on top of her head perfectly, you can see on her face she extremely disappointed. You see, this lady could have did what most of us do. We get to the point we have success. We get to the point that we are satisfied. So when we have a disappointment, instead of us going forward, we stay in one spot. But that is not what the Red Dragon decided to do. She looks at the guy, she said, hey, give me that bowl. She takes the 3 bowls off the top of her head, put them with the 4th bowl, put them back on her foot, she starts to pedal and flip all 4 of those bowls on top of her head, and they land perfectly. And it's the same thing with the last bowls. She was able to do the same thing. She had dropped one, but she continued to persist despite her disappointment. And because of that, she got all 20 bowls on top of her head successfully. Why? Because she wasn't willing to settle in her disappointment. She wasn't willing to step back. She wasn't going to allow the pause of doing good enough keeping her from reaching her full potential. And if you want to get to the point that you believe that you're worthy to be great, if you want to develop a worthy mindset like the red lady, you have to persist despite your disappointments. So I want to encourage you to look at the disappointments that you're having in your life. Look at those areas that you have got to the point you feel they are good enough. And instead of settling for the disappointments in those areas, to continue to persist so you can get to the point that you develop a worthy mindset. And when you are in those situations that you are starting to feel that you are not good enough, you know you have persist despite those disappointments, so therefore you can attack your opportunities knowing that you are worthy to be great. I want to ask you guys to follow me on Instagram at Gene_Mosley. You can also find me on Facebook at Speaker Gene Mosley. And you can also subscribe to my YouTube channel, which is Gene Mosley. Also, like this video, share this video, leave a comment below because I want to hear what you have to say. Always remember that you are worthy to be great, but in order for you to develop a worthy mindset, you have to persist despite your disappointments. Peace.